Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jerry Sansing with another edition of What's Going On in Corpus Christi. My producer is Janelle Bennett, Dr. Bennett. It's October 28th, 2018. Beautiful day out today. And got a lot to catch you up on with the Taxpayers Association meetings and so forth and so on. So I'd just like to have you notice that you can get a hold of me at gsansing@gmail.com. And where air times are Tuesday at 8:30 and Wednesday at 8:30. That's on the public access channel 10 on Grande and Spectrum, and I think it's channel 99 on AT&T. Anyway, I will be back in just a few seconds, and we'll fill you in on some very important stuff going around and along and through Corpus Christi, Texas. Be right back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the camera is rolling, and it looks like the lights are on. So I'm going to go step around here and continue on this evening. As I've told you 1,000 times, maybe not that many, but this is a one-man show. I don't have people to back me up in Studio One. I'd like to dedicate the flowers to Miss Lynn, my deceased wife, my deceased mother, Miss Connie, and to a very dear friend of mine currently, which is Miss April 23. Okay, she's doing well, and I'm very proud of her. She's up in North Texas and earning her bachelor's degree in aeronautical engineering, and I'll pursue that later. Everybody knows how I feel about that woman. She's great. Anyway, so there are the flowers, and love you gals, all three of you, very, very much. This is October 28th, 2018. This is what's going on in Corpus Christi. It's basically the Corpus Christi Taxpayers Association show. The times are 8:30 on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's on channel 10 with Grande and Spectrum, and then I think it's 99 on AT&T. And we're trying to get some other stations to take care of this. And apparently we've got some problems around here with some of these cable companies, and I'll divulge that next time. Okay? Now, the new times are going to start on December the 2nd of this year. We have a 6-month lottery, it's called. We go pick our times. I think I've pretty much got the same times, although I think, I'll give you the new ones. They're pretty close to what we've got now. And so I will inform you as to what's going on with that when the time comes. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is I have the Pinocchio here, as usual. This is what I think of our current elected officials at the Del Mar College. We've got CCISD, we've got the county, we've got the state, we've got the feds, and everything else in between. And I hope I didn't leave anything out. But here's old Jiminy Cricket giving old Pinocchio hell for keeping lying, and his nose keeps growing. And that's the way I feel about our current people here in Corpus Christi, Texas. We've got a real bad problem here. And then, as I said, and I've done this before, it's kind of a disgusting picture, but I think it really exemplifies what we're doing here. So you taxpayers out there, you won't listen to me, a lot of you, and you're bumping along, voting for bond after bond after bond, and getting yourselves deeper and deeper and deeper in debt. And I think that's a tragedy. One of these days you're going to realize what's going on. But this is a very graphic representation of taxpayers holding the bag. Okay? So that's what you get. You get dumped on every day by these people around here. They're duping you out of your money. They go and try to razzle and dazzle you with all this, I guess that would be elephant pachyderm excrement. Okay? And that's real close to equine excrement, bovine excrement, ovine excrement, porcine, and so forth and so on. And I'm just getting pretty damn tired of it, to tell you the truth. So I'm just going to be blunt. I have the reputation, I guess, around town of making people uncomfortable and fearful. I don't mean to do that. I just try to talk some sense into some people. I live through Delmar every day. It's getting worse and worse and worse. It's more of a burden every day with the lies that people are telling me over there. And, the acrimony and the apathy and so forth and so on. So I don't know what to say except, I was brought up to fight for what I thought was right, and I'm going to continue doing that. Okay? Now, so we get stuck holding that bag over there with that pachyderm excrement coming out in great volumes. That's the life in Corpus Christi, Texas these days. Okay? Now we're tired of we, meaning the Taxpayers Association. We had a meeting yesterday, October 27th. I've got my agenda here. We had a very light turnout, unfortunately. I don't know what else was going on downtown. I think we had what is that? I can't say it in Spanish. My Spanish stinks. But it was the Day of the Dead, and they had a lot of activities downtown, and I think that may have caused us not to have the greatest attendance at our semi-annual membership meeting. But if you are interested in Taxpayers Association, then silence is not the answer, folks. Don't sit there like a bump on a pickle and not say anything. You'll never get anything done except higher taxes, and people are going to jerk you around. And what can I say? You're being jerked around at a very high level, and you're going to be absolutely broke before these politicians get through. And it's all ego on their part. I've come to that conclusion. They don't give a damn about you and your welfare of you and your loved ones and your family and so forth. All they want to do is take care of themselves and massage their own egos and go around here like they're some deities. But anyway, our board meeting, some of the topics that we like to discuss is the Americans with Disabilities Act and the city's non-compliance with that, total non-compliance. And the reason that we have total non-compliance with those rules is because we have a knucklehead down there. It's a city attorney. I don't mind saying that. He's Mr. Risley, Miles Risley, or Risley. I think he pronounces it Risley. And, the guy, he doesn't care. Okay? So why don't you, as an attorney, sir, go ahead and sue me. You've threatened to do that when you took over as the city attorney, and continue on with Carlos Valdez, that moron, in his quest to do the Friends of the Coliseum under. Where's that lawsuit, folks? Okay? If there's such a brave guy. And I hope that by the time this airs that we do not have Mr. Carlos Valdez in, and I think he's running for the 148th District Court, Texas District Court around here. And I can't think of anything worse that could be in there except Satan himself. Okay? Now, and I'm just being honest with you. If you want to come on the air and dispute that Mr. Valdez or Mr. Risley and all these city employees down there that don't do their jobs and couldn't care less about you and your family members, then bring it on. Okay? Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is I did call with the Taxpayers Association General Membership meeting yesterday for our Taxpayers Association to attend the Delmar College Board of Regents meetings and talk with the regents. Tell them what you think's wrong, like that Southside campus, which is going to encumber us for many, many years at very high, debt and so forth and so on. We don't need it, and I'm going to go through that in just a few seconds. Also, association members need to attend city council meetings and talks with the council members and tell them to get off the high horse down there. Let's get the damn street fixed and quit screwing around and not getting things done. Now, I hate to be that blunt about it, and I hope the kids cannot take this on, but, most of what goes on at the city council meetings these days is nothing but equine excrement. You can look that up, okay? Throw a little bovine excrement in there, and I don't care. Just look up what I'm trying to tell you, okay? Now, what we discussed was costs for outside attorneys' fees. I think the city, if I'm not wrong, somebody can correct me, we have 26 attorneys that are on the city payroll down there, and then we're hiring outside attorneys from all over Hell's Half Acre, except in Corpus Christi, Texas, folks. to go down there, and I think the last we heard was about a little over $2 million we're paying out for legal fees for outside attorneys. What's wrong with the attorneys in town? Okay, I guess they know Carlos Valdez, and they know Mr. Risley and some of these other clowns and clownettes real well, so they're not willing to take a chance on being messed around by those people, and it's about time. I did straighten out the Employees Retirement System of Texas. I had to threaten the ERS, the state people who picked Blue Cross Blue Shield, which has got to be the worst insurance carrier on the face of the earth and in this universe, and threatened to sue them so they could do the right thing and pay my primary care physician and the rest of them around town at least a wage and for our care above what Medicare would pay. These people are despicable. That's the state level. All right, and then we've got Del Mar College enrollment and so forth. I'll come back to that one with this Southside campus where you're being nailed to the wall, folks. There's going to be a real disaster from a financial point of view. And then we've got ADA compliance with sidewalks. The city still says that they don't have to do anything, and then when you write the state and the feds, and then they say, well, we don't have time to be worried about you people down there in Corpus Christi, Texas. We've got bigger fish to fry. So they're spending your money hand over fist in Washington, D.C., and we can't get the Department of Justice. They're too wrapped up in all that garbage that they're spewing up there and playing. It reminds me of the spats that used to go on in kindergarten on the playground. My daddy can beat up your daddy and all this other garbage that goes on. Okay, rebel against the federal taxes you're paying for nothing. What are you getting? You flying people around the countryside, giving talks and political talks and everything else under the country, under the sun. And what good is that doing you, folks? Okay, don't you want to take care of you and yours? And not have to worry about a bunch of, little snotty-nosed kids running around the kindergarten playground. My daddy can beat up your daddy. And that's what this whole country has turned into. And my father, a very highly decorated fighter pilot that fought for your rights, this freedom of speech and mine, and that's the reason I exhibit it, in the Second World War, got his butt shot down and walked out after he was out shooting Germans retreating through there with the French underground, and I'm very proud of that, to know that that was my genetic background. Okay, wonderful guy, went and flew Korea and Vietnam, through 350 missions he flew in Vietnam in 13 months. Okay, now so how many of these people over here on the city council and at Del Mar College administration and so forth and so on, the state and even the feds have went through that for your right to stand up and say, hey, I'm tired of this crap. Okay? I'm not going to put up with this bovine excrement anymore. Okay? So go think about it, folks. All you got to do is open your mouth and start screaming. Okay? And somebody will listen somewhere up and down the line. And then the Del Mar College accounting enrollment. That's a shambles over here. Okay? I'm gonna go discuss that in a few minutes. And then, Del Mar College delays in answering my Public Information Act request. They're totally and completely against the Attorney General's office and the rules and regulations. So I am going to the Attorney General this next week, and I'm going to blow the lid off of Del Mar, piddling around thinking I'm some stupid idiot that won't say anything about them violating the Texas Public Information Act request. And I think they're leading up to another one where, a friend of mine and I applied or sent some Public Information Act requests in, and Del Mar College said it's going to take $26.7 million to produce that information for you. Folks, how stupid can you get? And these are supposed to be educated people. Now, here it is. On the 17th of October, and this was Caller Times, it says the DMC, which is Del Mar College Approved Southside Plan, Construction costs for college's campus set at $93 million with a goal of 2021 move-in. Okay, now the whole deal out there was that they started with $137 million. So, and we're only down to 93. So where did that other money go? Okay, I think it went to architects and engineers and contractors that had donated money to the campaign of one Mr. Trey McCampbell, who's the head, the honcho over there on the Board of Regents. I saw checks to him from all the contractors and architects, engineers, and so forth and so on for big bucks. And then there was this farce that was called Del Mar College Works, and that was to get the bond for $139 million. But now we got set for $93 million. So what happened to the other $40 million roughly? I think that went to architects, engineers, and so forth on these bids. I do know there's an architect in town that donated $5,000 to both campaigns, and I've seen checks over $500,000, two of them at least, to that particular architectural firm. If that doesn't upset you, folks, I don't know what the hell it's going to take. Maybe a swift kick in the rump or whatever. But you people are being duped by Del Mar College, and the president's the one that's leading the bandwagon. He says, but I think it's all these high rollers over there through Mr. McCampbell that are doing it. That's my speculation. That's my guess. I mean, I don't know diddly about anything except, I've been in the scientific business taking facts and figures and determining what's going on for over 50 years, much to this dismay. Okay? Now, then we get this blather out of Del Mar College. This was the foghorn. Okay? Now let me just explain a few things to you. Okay, we're tired of the lies, the Taxpayer Association, and I hope we can entice you into participating with that. Our next meeting is going to be on December the 1st of this year. That's a board meeting. We're going to meet at the Small Planet Deli over at Alameda. Not Alameda, but Saratoga and Staple Street. It's behind those three fast food places over there. It's called the Small Planet Delicatessen. And you've got my email address. If you want a copy of the agenda and so forth and so on, I'll pre-send it to you. So just email me at gsansing@gmail.com. I think that's fairly easy to remember. And I've got it at the beginning of the show, and I'll give it to you at the end of it. So get a pencil ready. Okay? Now, Del Mar College enrollment has been flatlined statistically, and I did take a graduate class in statistics when I was in graduate school, folks. Okay, it was not an easy class, but it showed me that you can set trends and know what's going on. So statistically and numerically and in actuality, Del Mar College enrollment's been flat since 1992. Now, here we've got a $159 million bond that you people agreed to and voted on to build a whole bunch of classrooms and offices and stuff on East Campus, the same on West Campus. $159 million. You people are going to have to pay that back. And then they had bonds before that you're going to have to pay back. We've got a debt that you would not believe. I mean, it rivals the United States government when it comes to spending money down here. And who benefits from that? It's the local architects and the engineers and the contractors and all the friends of the Del Mar College Board of Regents. Not all the Board of Regents, folks. Don't get me wrong. Okay, there are a couple on there that know what they're doing. And there's going to be a change in the air. Okay? But we've got bonds, and more bonds. And then CCISD wants something. But what I want to do is, this is the foghorn that came out on October 22nd. Okay, today's the 28th. And this is the Foghorn News, which they say is not, it says Del Mar College Foghorn News. And when we had all these graphic, cartoons, pornographic cartoons and all, they said, no, we're not a part of Del Mar College. We're an independent, group over here that are journalism majors. My dear wife, Miss Lynn, who passed away 6 years ago, was a professor at Del Mar College, and a damn good one. And her undergraduate degree was in journalism, and she used to roll over, and I'm sure she's rolling over in her grave right now at the crap that's being put out by the Foghorn. And then when you put all this pornographic garbage in here, okay, then is that what we really want for our youth? We have a bunch of pornography and, you know, how to go out and have sex and so forth and so on. And this was a 19-year-old student reporter that did that. Despicable little creep, as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, I can't believe that the people that are on the staff over there at Del Mar College, and I hope you're listening, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe you condone that crap. Anyway, here we go. This came out on October 22nd. Regents approve Southside plan. That's what we've got here. Now, I'm going to read this, and I hope I don't bore you to death, but it says, architect calls new campus a safe place for students and a home. Okay? As the year quickly comes to an end, the Board of Regents buckles down as the master plan for the Southside campus takes off into full speed. At a recent Board of Regents meetings on October 16th, guests Gensler, Turner, and Ramirez was welcomed back to discuss approval of the schematic plan of Phase 1A and to also get an overview of what's to be expected in the phases to come. President Architect Philip Ramirez stressed that the new campus will possess a safe place for students, a home, and a sense of community. Okay, and they go on about this, and then they quote Gabriel Rivas, who's probably one of the most ineffective of the Board of Regents members. You know, he's a yes man over there, and you know, he's out with his honey all over the place with Del Mar College meetings and so forth, and all over the countryside. They go to Las Vegas, and they go to New York, and they go all over the place. And he's got his honey there, and he's the one that puts the pictures of nice plates of food and you know, drinks on the table. Or is that what you want to pay for, taxpayers? And then have him go over here and do nothing but be subservient to Mr. Trey McCampbell? Now here's what's really got me, and I'm winding down on time. Enrollment figure highest in 8 years. 12,222 students, the most since 2010, college officials say. Now I'm going to read this, and I'm going to get my calculator over here, and we're going to see what the truth is. Okay? Now I can prove statistically, and in fact, don't even have to apply statistics, that the flatline enrollment has been here since 1992. But listen to this blather. Okay? And this was Aaron Garza Granados is the student who wrote this. After more than a year since Harvey, Del Mar has finally stopped seeing the repercussions of the disaster caused on enrollment numbers in the fall of 2017. As a Board of Regents meeting of October 16th, or at a board meeting, Rito Silva, that's the guy that had the witch hunt going away, towards me. I'm not going to comment. Okay, Chief Academic Advisor, he doesn't know anything about academics, explained to the regents that enrollment numbers incline at a steady pace within the past 5 years with hindrance in one area. You see a small dip in 2017. We're calling that the Harvey effect, Silva said. This year the enrollment number became the highest that Del Mar College has seen since 2010. Total enrollment came out to 12,222 students, seeing a jump from fall 2017, which was only 11,833. That's a whopping 400 increase in enrollment. Okay? Included with this number are summer flex entries, which amounted to 399 students. Summer flex entries are the students who took summer 1 or summer 2 classes. Bovine excrement, folks. I mean, how much of an increase is that? I've got my calculator here. Let's see if I can turn this thing on. Okay? Let's see if I've got 12,222. Okay? Let's see. 11,833. Okay. I think that's maybe less than about a 1% increase. But it's a whopper, isn't it, over 10 years? Oh, Lord have mercy on me. Okay, included with this number is summer flex. Okay, so they had to add the summer to that in order to get to that. Now they're blowing a bunch of smoke at you folks, you know, in your ear and wherever else by quoting these numbers. It's bovine excrement. Instead of having to wait and add them to spring's enrollment number, it's easier to shuffle them in with fall enrollment and specify their place in that grand total. Yeah, it makes you look better. You got a little bit of increase. You know, if you've got 400 students compared to 12,222 over 11,800 and something, I mean, that's a real whopping thing. That's why we need to spend $159 million for new classrooms at Del Mar College. Now, a study has been done, ladies and gentlemen, and did you know that the utilization of our classrooms during the week, a normal week at Del Mar College, is less than 40%. It's closer to 35%. We've got empty classrooms everywhere, and now we're building more. We got $159 million on East and West, and then we're going to build $137,000 just to start one phase out of 4 at the South Campus. And now they've dropped the total enrollment they want on Southside Campus from 20,000 to 15. And we're only going to have 3,000 something students when they open that out there. Okay? I mean, what kind of nonsense is that? Seriously. You ought to be totally outraged with this. Okay? And then it just goes on. It goes on and it's total, complete blather. Regents were quick to action as they showed no hesitation to ask what Del Mar College has planned to keep this number rising, or how they're going to do that. Okay? All right. Silva explained how the Viking Islander program, or VIP, worked as an agent to recruit students and get enrollment up, and the results showed. Okay? No, they didn't. 400 students out of 12,000? Good God, man. You know, I'm not that stupid. This year we only allotted 50 students to come to be a part of this program, Silva said. We ended up having about 127. Well, 127 out of 12,222. Way to go there, guys. That is significant. President Mark Escamilla then quickly interjected to add that many of the students aren't just from Corpus Christi. They're not just from surrounding cities, Escamilla explained. They are coming from cities like Wichita Falls and Dallas. Big deal. Okay? I mean, can't you do any better than that? And here you are preaching all this stuff, and then we've got to see the continuing education dropping and so forth and so on, and it went on and on and on. Now, I'm going to pick up a number of copies of this thing, so if any of you people out there would like to have a copy of the Foghorn from October 22nd and read all this blather and total bovine excrement, then please let me know. Now, here's another thing that goes on, okay? What Del Mar has done, we have a system on our email that is DMC All. That means that I can go and voice my opinions to all the employees at Del Mar College. They have cut that out. They've negated it, folks, okay? Only administrators can access that group, or any other group as far as that goes. The ability to create groups and OnLook has also been disabled. We don't have a voice anymore. Faculty members have absolutely no voice over there. And some of the faculty members, and I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to take about 30 seconds in just a few minutes and have a prayer for all of those people that were killed in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay? I am Jewish. I know I don't look like it, according to Buddy Venters and some other people. And, I'll explain what this college does to go ahead and condone anti-Semitic remarks by certain faculty members on the holiday shows, they call those, okay? The holiday concert shows, and I'll do that on the next show, okay? But something stinks here, folks, and God bless all those people. Just because they're Jews, then they don't need to be slaughtered like that. And unfortunately, the Del Mar College thinks that's humorous when things are referred to as being the gas chamber and so forth and so on. All right, I'm going to shut it down and show you the roses. Got about 10 less seconds left. There's the beautiful roses. Thank you, Miss Lynn. Miss Connie and Miss April 26, or 23, excuse me. I'm not going to bump that up. Anyway, good night.